Get to Old Navy today for an incredible 50% off all jeans. That's right, all jeans, including Rockstar and your favorite kid styles, are 50% off. But hurry in, today's the last day. The sale ends tonight at Old Navy and OldNavy.com. Valid 3/9 to 3/10, excludes in-store clearance.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, what's up? This is Seth Green, and you are listening to Somewhere in Vegas with Mark, and I am so hot, I would desperately like a glass of water. Please, please give me some water.
This is Cindy Preston, and I'm with Mark on Somewhere in Vegas.
Hi, this is Melissa Peterman from CMT's The Singing Bee and the television show Reba. And I have to tell you, I just have to get it off my chest, I love Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hi there. This is Faith Roscoe from General Hospital. You're listening to Mark on Somewhere in Vegas. And you better watch out. We know how to find you if you're not listening.
Hi, this is Shannon Egan from Whippet, and I love Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hey, this is Lee Allen Baker with Somewhere in Vegas, talking with Mark with a Q.
This is Courtney Cronin. You're listening to Somewhere in Vegas with your host, Mark, and I would make sure to listen every week because he's a sure bet.
Hey, this is the Money Man, Eddie Money. I got 2 tickets to Paradise, and it's, you know what? It's Somewhere in Vegas. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Hi, this is Crystal Kale, and I love Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hi, this is Terry Nunn from Berlin, and you're listening to Mark Somewhere in Vegas.
Hi, this is Miracle Lori from Joss Whedon's Dollhouse. There are 3 flowers in a vase, and I'm listening to Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hi, this is Erin Hill, and you are listening to Mark on Blog Talk Radio and Somewhere in Vegas. Mark is a great guy.
Hi, this is Sean Pulaski. I'm still trying to figure out Mark Pico's sexuality, but I know you're listening to Somewhere Live in Vegas.
Here you go, Mark. I'm sorry. I thought you were she. I'm sorry. Get out of the tent. Let's get out of here.
Hey, this is Lance and Anna from Free Radio. And Anna?
And you're listening to Somewhere in Vegas.
Yes.
My favorite.
You know, that's usually what happens with me. I go to Vegas and I get lost, and so I end up somewhere in Vegas.
Somewhere in Vegas.
But I just don't know where it is.
Not quite sure.
Yeah, word.
Get ready. It's going to be hot. It's in Vegas. Check out Mark. Be there or be square.
Welcome, everybody, to Somewhere in Vegas here on blogtalkradio.com. I'm Mark with the Q. I'm your host today. I'm very privileged to have a very hilarious comedian and actor. He has a really solid body of work, including Everybody Loves Raymond, and as recently, Wizard of Waverly Place and Bob's Burgers. You guys can check him out over at the Brad Garrett Comedy Club. Coming up this week, we're on the line with Andy Kindler right now. How you doing, Andy?
Good. Let's not also forget to have a solid body in addition to a solid body of work.
I would assume
that's the kind of jokes I can instantly. A lot of people say I'm not good on my feet, but I'm lying down now and I'm on fire.
Yeah, I was going to mention that there has been rumors that you did do a stint in WWE, but I hear those are only rumors.
Yeah, those are not only rumors, they're not even true. Where people think, I guess, because all Jews look alike is what they think, that there's a guy who used to be a manager of the Bushwhackers. Of course, I seem to know a lot about the topic too quickly. And this guy has glasses, and he's probably Semitic. So people go, oh, that must be you. But what happened was that our IMDb pages got mixed up, and that caused a whole kerfuffle. And when I mean a kerfuffle, I mean nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly, and we want to straighten that out. It's not the same guy. But yeah, what's it like coming back here to Vegas and doing a stint over at Brad's Club?
Well, as always, I've taken the town by a drizzle. People here in Vegas, first of all, the room is fantastic. It's beautiful. And I love Brad Garrett. And I hope that last night, people were nice to me and they were polite, but I hope that starting tonight they will get on the Andy Kindler bus, and there's always plenty of seats.
Yeah.
People here I'm used to doing 15, 20, 30 minutes just on how much I dislike Jay Leno. I may have to expand this week.
Was this your first time over at Brad's new club? I know he just moved over there earlier this year. Is this the first time performing over there?
I haven't been here in years to Vegas. I used to perform at the Riviera when Steve Sharippa was over there, and that's been it. I think that there may have been, you know how some people have outstanding parking tickets? I think that there's a warrant outstanding on me comedically.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and what's it like coming back here to Vegas and performing in front of these audiences?
Well, I think people here, if my face was painted blue and I was doing all kinds of tricks, or maybe if I could shimmy up a high wire, I think I would do better. But, you know, I'm the first person to criticize myself. So maybe by the end of this week, I will be ready to move here. And also, maybe I should be more positive so people come screaming out to the show. Don't you think that? Isn't it time for me to stop telling the truth and start to play the showbiz Jimmy Fallon game of pretending to love everything?
Well, that and out here in Vegas, it's not as humid as it is maybe in L.A. or even over in Florida.
It's not as humid?
Yeah, it's not as humid out here. It's a little bit more arid.
Oh, okay. So how does that affect everything? Oh, my comedy's dry. That should help.
That should help. Well, you know, you've been doing a lot of interesting work as of late. I mentioned Bob's Burgers, but I mean, it's interesting that you got a job on Wizards of Waverly Place. How did you get that, and how's been the reaction? Because I know a lot of kids watch Wizards of Waverly Place.
Well, what happened is that the person, this happens to me all the time. Someone had the part and they couldn't do it. And this has happened. This is the story of my career. If I go in an audition, I'm not going to get it. If someone gets sick, they decline, they leave town, I'm your guy, because I'm not going anywhere unless I have a gig. So they came to me, and there are people I knew because, you know, for the last when the writers' strike hit, whatever that was, kind of work started to drop off, and also, once the writers' strike settled, there was a lot of reality shows. Everything was a reality show. So then after that, a lot of writers who would normally work for sitcoms went to work on kids' shows. So it's kind of like the thing where they're trying to write to two people, the adults and the kids. And I, of course, love to be on kids' shows because I love to overact. If all I need to hear is more, Andy, go further over the top. And that's all. And that's it. I'm a happy man.
What's been the reaction? Are you getting a lot of kids that recognize you when you walk around in certain places?
You know, I'm not people think I'm filled with rage just because my Twitter feed is warm to the touch, and I like that one. But I wish I'm the new Art Linkletter. I love kids. So when you see a kid looking at you like they recognize you, there really is nothing better than that. And when I charge them $5-6 for an autograph, it's so good for all concerned. Yeah, it doesn't go to me. The money doesn't go to me, is what I tell the kids. Yeah, I mean, it gives you a rep for the next generation too. I mean, a lot of their parents may have watched you on Raymond, but now a lot of those kids are watching you on Wizards of Waverly Place and hearing your voice on Bob's Burgers. Well, my new demographic is 8 to about 13, and then 60 to 80. That's my new. Those are my people. Kind of like NCIS or NCIS Los Angeles. Right. But anyway, Bob's Burgers is a whole cool thing because those are the people. Goes all the way back to Dr. Katz with those guys. Lauren Bouchard, who created the show, and then John Benjamin is the greatest. He's like the funniest man in the world. Yeah, I mean, it's I think Dr. Katz was kind of a cult hit actually for a while. One of those things where they didn't catch on right away, and then later, people can reference it really easily and know what you're talking about. Yeah, I get a lot of people because I am now older than I was, which I didn't know was going to happen. I thought it was going to level off at one point. But a lot of people come up to me like, "Oh, I started watching you on Dr. Katz in the 90s." And, of course, these people are retired now, but still. Do you enjoy doing voice work? Go ahead. Dr. Katz, Jonathan Katz is unbelievable. He's like my, if I had my top 5 of comics, he's up there, and his rhythm is so great, and so he's so respected. I love him. Yeah. Do you enjoy doing voice work a lot more than you like doing acting, or is there any kind of difference between that? I think there's probably in certain ways there's nothing more comfortable than doing voice work. The problem is that all the voice work I get is from references. Like I have a voiceover agent, and whenever I go out for those, I think I've nailed them. I go, I did, this is great. When do I start? But I think there's something in my voice that advertisers sense a certain amount of cynicism. And I don't feel cynical. But I do love them, though, when I get the jobs, because you really can. There's something about disconnecting the visual of something. And then on Bob's Burgers, the greatest thing was when they did Weekend at Mort's, where the kids came over, where the family came over and stayed with me. And that was the first time for like a half hour I saw myself like animated, where I started to believe that I might be that I might be an animated character instead of a real person.
Now, let's talk a little bit about how you got started. How did you get started in comedy?
I got started late, relatively late, but I think it was actually probably good. It was about 28. I started at age 28 in the mid 80s, and I was a musician before then. I was a violinist, and I played guitar, and I lived in Queens, and I went to school upstate New York, and then after college, I thought like 65 million other people, hey, I'm a singer-songwriter guitarist. I'll head out to L.A. And so I tried to do career in music, but I also had a lot of day jobs, which was good for fueling comedy. I sold door-to-door, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. And then I was working in a stereo store. The kids today don't remember when stereos were sold and the prices were high. And the guy who worked there was a very funny guy. His name was Bill, and he encouraged me to start. So for the first 2.5 years, I was in a comedy duo called Andy and Bill, which nobody knows. And again, most people don't care about except me and Bill.
Now, was it? Do you still pick up the guitar once in a while, or write a song once in a while?
I'm sorry, do I what?
Do you ever pick up a guitar at all and write music once in a while?
Oh yes, I do. I thought you said, do I pick up a car? No, yeah, I do. I have a Guild D50, which is beautiful. This is not a paid tweet. I'm not getting anybody from Guild. So, but since the mid-'70s, I have my. In fact, more recently, I picked up the guitar in the last couple of years and actually tried to write humorous songs, because when I started comedy, it was kind of considered. It was way before Fly of the Conchords or Tenacious D, so it was kind of considered a little. But it was after Alan Sherman, so it was kind of considered a little hacky to use guitar. So when I was on the road, I always said to the comic, "Don't worry, the guitar is not for the stage." But I loved Frank Zappa, and I loved people, and Randy Newman. I love people who wrote comedically. So, and actually, in the last couple of years, I picked it up and started playing more.
Well, it tended to be a little bit more viral now too. I mean, there was a comedy that's out there right now. A lot of people write funny songs and they post it on the internet, and it becomes so viral. So
someone approached me in a store. And they said, "Oh, I don't recognize you." Well, I think it was not even from TV. It was a guy from a local thing. He goes, "Well, I'm thinking about doing funny songs. What do you think?" I was like, "Oh, I don't think anyone's ever tried that." He thought he had discovered something. I didn't dissuade them. If I'm out in public, I try not to dissuade anybody from what they're doing.
Now, who were some of the people that you looked up to coming into comedy?
I was a huge fan of David Letterman, and a lot of the people, but a lot of the people I was influenced with were from sitcoms. Like I loved Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore, but I also loved SCTV was a huge influence, and the original Saturday Night Live was a big influence. And then I loved Woody Allen movies. So I felt lucky when I started because I wasn't. Wasn't familiar with tons of comedy. I loved Richard Pryor, and later on I got into Lenny Bruce, but it was almost kind of good not to have too many thoughts in my mind about it.
Now,
build my own style.
How was it making that transition over from being a comedian to being an actor?
The thing about it is that even though stand-up comedy is something I can never predict how it's going to go, and I wouldn't say I feel comfortable doing it. I mean, I do feel comfortable many times, but sometimes part of my, quote, act is to talk about how uncomfortable I'm feeling. But I feel in control of what I'm doing. acting to me seems more something that I'm not really sure of how it's coming across, because I don't really, it's like in college I took some classes in acting, and they were always like saying, you have to be in the moment, you have to be in the moment. And I never felt like I was, I never felt like, I'm this character. I always know that I'm acting. So it's a lot more tricky, and I don't love auditions. I like voiceover auditions, but acting auditions sometimes bug me. So I think it's also something that the more you do, the better you get at it, unless you're not good at it, and you'll never be good at it. Some people just don't have any kind of timing or ability to act, and I'm not talking about myself, but there are others out there, and it's just something you don't know until you try it.
Well, you must be doing something right because you're getting a lot of gigs. So something must be going right there.
Normally I'm self-deprecating, so I'm not even saying like, no, I can't do it, because I don't like false humility either, although I don't mind it. But no, I've looked back at myself and went, okay, that was good. It's just that when I'm doing it, I'm not in control of it, so it's kind of a little more frightening.
Yeah, you tend to react more than you tend to act.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like I don't listen. I have trouble listening. Like I have to close my eyes and listen to this conversation, just like I have to listen to everybody, because I have my mind goes in a million directions possible. So it's all over the place. And then when you're an actor, you have to listen. But then I always tell myself, no, I'm playing a guy who doesn't listen. That's my shtick.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. There's a question I always ask a lot of the comedians that come on the show. Have you ever bombed, and have you learned from that experience?
Have I ever bombed, and what was that?
What have you learned from the experience?
Well, I bombed since the first time. The first time I went out on my own, I was in a duo and I went on my own. I have told this story before, but it still is true that I cried. We wept a little bit. And when the first time a joke didn't work, I said to the crowd, well, this joke didn't work. And so that, at the beginning, so I've always been kind of like trying to create an act that's based on the reaction to the actual joke. So bombing, I think, on a spiritual level, that's like a word, spiritual is not something people normally use. But on a spiritual level, if you did well every single time, you might get bored with it. So I think from bombing, you learn just how to deal with tough situations. You learn more about yourself. Of course, there are some situations when you're bombing that there's nothing to learn, except where the exits are, how you get to your car, and how to drive fast away. So there's a whole continuum of experiences you can have. I just like the fact that I use the word continuum.
Yeah. Now, and you kind of learn to and it probably took you a while to learn how to recover, or to figure out a way that if you know something's going wrong, to kind of fix it on the fly. And that's something that you kind of have to, I would say, you have to learn on the fly, as it were.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Like with all this stuff on Twitter, and everybody was reacting to Seth MacFarlane, and my reaction was like, why do they hire somebody who's maybe performed 5 or 6 times in their whole life? That it's like. And then people are arguing, well, he didn't do bad or he did terrible. It's like, to me, it's an insult to people like Steve Martin and Johnny Carson and people who I'm not saying you should never use someone who's new or give it a shot, but it's like they were doing it because they wanted to draw on his demographics, and that to me is a cynical way to book something. And what there's no way that he could be able to do was know how to think on his feet and react to stuff in the moment, as well as somebody who's been doing it for a long time. I don't think it's asking too much to have someone who has experience. I mean, they had just done the Hathaway Franco debacle. Did they learn nothing from that? The answer is no, because unfortunately in the entertainment industry right now, they're very desperate. It's like, the voice works. Let's put it on 20 times a week. Whatever works, they beat it until it no longer works. That's not what the question was, but I went there.
Yeah, I want to mention that actually when the ratings came out, the demographic was shifted on the Oscars because obviously the older set are always tuning into the Oscars as kind of a tradition. But it drove in a lot more younger audiences, although all the negative reviews for some of the older people. So it was kind of an interesting contrast, and they're always under a fine microscope for a big event like that too. So, I'm very interested to see what they do next year. I think that McFarlane had, incidentally, I think probably gave another option in the fact that they're probably going to get what's her face from Saturday Night Live on the one that did the AMAs. I forget her name at the moment.
Tina Fey.
Yeah, Tina Fey. I wouldn't be surprised if they get Tina Fey next year.
Those guys, like when Tina Fey and Amy Poehler hosted the Golden Globes, I mean, they were funny. It's like, and when Alec Baldwin and Steve Martin hosted it, like Alec Baldwin, he's not a stand-up comic, but he's performing in front of people so many times as an actor. It's just certain things are amazing to me because it just makes such common sense. But when in an industry where instead of going with your heart and doing what you believe in, everyone's looking for instant gratification. I don't think ultimately it's going to help the Oscars on an ongoing basis that they were able to get these whatever demographics to watch. What would help is there's so many problems with the whole production of it. I mean, it's like 9 hours long or something.
Yeah, I mean, then that was another complaint too, is that maybe some of the technical awards could go down to the quote unquote other technical awards, like the sound editing or whatever. It does take a while to get that as well. So, and I do want to mention
and also the writing of the writing of the regular categories is like cinematography, the way someone looks, the way the sky falls. I don't know, that was a bad example, but it's like almost written by a computer program.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's written like a definition in a dictionary,
Yes.
And it's like, that is boring. I was going to mention that in the memoriam, they missed like 5 or 6 names on the list this year, and I was really surprised.
Who they miss?
They missed Andy Griffith for one. I can't believe they missed Andy Griffith. He was.
That's a big omission because not just that he was on TV, he facing the crowd was like. He was an amazing actor,
Yeah, he was a great actor. I'm surprised, and there was quite a few others. I think I'm trying to think if Amory Hempelking was missed this year or whatever. I knew there's 4 or 5 names that were like I was like surprised they missed. Several actors actually that were Bing Rames I think was off the list this year. I don't know why he wasn't on the list either. So they missed some huge names this year.
Yeah, it's I do tear up though whenever I see. I mean, people think I have no emotions, but I do have emotions. I want you to tell people that you've heard that I cry openly.
Yeah, I want to mention too that I like this year that they didn't have somebody singing over it because they keep on cutting away to the person singing, and then you can't see what's going on above them to see who who died this year. And it was like they switched it back after a 2-year hiatus, and I was like going, thank God, because I want to see what the list is. I don't want to see the person who was ever singing it or whatever, doing it. So go.
So next year they wanted me to do a little song and dance number during that segment.
Yeah.
That was my idea of a joke. I'm not saying it was funny, but that's my idea of a joke.
Yeah, I kind of got that. I have a caller on the line who's been waiting for a while, so let's see if we can get him on real quick. 914, are you there?
Yes.
Who's this?
Hi, it's Victoria.
Hello, Victoria.
Hi,
hello, Victoria.
How are you?
Fine.
Yeah.
You have a question for Andy?
I do. Yeah. First of all, I think he's fabulous. Second of all, I just got into comedy, and I'm living in New York, and I'm thinking of moving to Hawaii. Don't ask me why. But anyway, I'm just getting started, and I'm feeling very natural on stage. I'm getting a lot of laughs, and, the New York scene is tough, but I'm still doing bringer shows. I'm wondering, how do I knock out the door, through the bringer shows to, onto, bigger and better? I mean, I know there's winning contests, things like that, but is there another way to do it?
Well, when I never did too many bringer shows just because they didn't require it then as much. I think you need to get contests, all those things. There's something problematic about those. I think there's got to be other kind of gigs that are not bringer shows, whether it's coffee shop shows or whatever they are, because I think counterintuitively to every other part of show, quote, show business, stand-up comics need experience more than anything else. It's like if you love it, that's one thing, but to stick with it and not, that's why when you first start, not be hard on yourself. But I think a lot of people get too impatient, and it just takes a long time, and there's no rush. There's just no rush on it.
Well, there's no time limit because, you can do comedy at any age, which I love. And I'm already an actor and singer, so I could perform in front of people without being shy. I want to know how I get to the next level besides the whole bringer. I know it's a business, but it's like, I could do voiceovers too. I just don't know how to break in. I don't know. I guess you got to know people. I don't know. I know Eddie Brill. That's about it. I don't know how to get into wherever I need to go.
I would say if it's possible for you to not worry about that, because once you start to develop, one thing that's great about stand-up is that there is an egalitarian feeling to it, if that's the right word, because people will find you, and that's not true with the music industry is much harder. There's people, you will attract people when your act gets to the level. Well, maybe I'm not putting your act down now, but I'm saying it'll happen for you without you having to force it. I think I've seen people make this mistake so many times of being too concerned about where it's going, and I think you could drive yourself nuts. It's like if you moved to Los Angeles. I was lucky because I lived in Los Angeles when I started comedy, so I would have had to have moved out to go to a smaller town. But I notice when comedians come or actors come, the worst thing that they can do is measure how long they've been there, because you don't want to if it's something you love, you don't want to put a time limit on it. You just want to do it. So I think you got to be a lot, have more patience. The only thing I worry about is I don't know what kind of a scene there is in Hawaii.
I know. That's the problem. I'm probably going to have to make my own comedy club and become like an entrepreneur at that point. I'm only going to try it out for a year. I'm going to see. But I'm always going to come back to New York anyway, so I could always book a show as far as a bringer show when I get back. But I'm wondering about, I'm just trying it out. I've got 3 kids. But, by the way, my kids love you in Waverly Place. So they want to say hi on speaker. Say hi.
Hi.
Hey.
My kids love you.
Rudy, Tootie, Tootie.
That's the new demographic there, Andy.
I'm telling you. They love him. They're the ones who told me about him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, if I can put my 2 cents into Victoria, I think obviously, make sure you record your shows and, study tapes.
Yeah, they're on YouTube. They're on YouTube. And, it's funny because I only went up 5 times and I already got discovered by, Jackie Mason's agent called me once and then somebody else called me. And it's funny because I got noticed on YouTube and I've only been up 5 times. You know what I mean? And there are only five of those shows. Some audiences, of course, were flat. For the same jokes, another audience was amazing, I mean, you got 10 people ahead of you that suck, and the people are like, oh, my God, when is this torture over? And then I go up, and I'm like, I get a few laughs, but it's not roaring. You know what I mean? I got to just figure it out. I mean, to me, I'm not doing it in front of the president. I'm having fun. I'm just having fun. That's what I'm doing.
That's all you got to that's all you need to worry about is enjoying yourself.
Yeah, enjoy yourself and then and improve. I mean, obviously this is an art form, and you really got to kind of use your skills to try to find a way. I mean, a lot of these comedians like Andy have worked their way up from the back bars and the bringer shows all the way up to where he's been right now. And I think an advantage of being in LA is the fact that you can be in a very, very late show and work that way. I mean, there's some comedians that'll be up like 2 or 3 a.m., Randy, that go up to some of these comedy clubs and just want a spot, and they'll just work on 2 or 3 minutes worth of talent and then worth of material, and then just kind of work their way up that way. I've heard a lot of
write, like you said, write everything. You said record, but write everything down. People so many times come up with an idea and they don't write it down. I've written down. I took time out of this interview to write a couple of things down.
I got news for you. I write really, really well because I'm a writer, but I could write for sitcoms. I don't even know how to get into that. Like, all my skits could be either for Saturday Night Live or for sitcoms, and people always tell me, they're like, oh, my God, that would be amazing in Saturday Night Live. Like, I could make a whole skit, and it's hilarious. But I act, too, so I do it but I can do both, and I don't know which one.
Well, you're quadruple.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Quadruple threat.
Yeah. Don't forget me, okay? Victoria Arnstein. Look me up right now.
Okay. All right, I won't forget you.
Yeah. I mean, keep writing,
name?
And obviously
Arnstein.
keep on writing. And I mean, do you do any improv at all?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, keep that up.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, I've been in plays forever. Since I'm 15, I'm 43 now. I've been in plays. I've been in things where, I had to just last minute do an improv thing. I sing the national anthem at every running race that I do. I'm not shy. You know what I mean? And I really make observations of, ironic things all day long. I'm constantly making observations of, the dumbest things ever. And it turns out that they're things that people relate to, like going to the airport. I mean, the fact that I can't bring my water bottle on the air, through the security, but if I drink it in front of them, I can go through, no problem. It doesn't make sense. Things that don't make sense, I just bring them out.
You can bring an empty water bottle.
What? No, a regular water bottle that I bought in the airport. I bought it in the airport, and I said I just bought it in the airport. They said, well, you have to go through security. So I said, well, can't I just go on with it? So she said, no, you have to drink it. So I said, I drink it, okay? So now I put the rest in my bag. She says, you have to give me that back, or you have to drink it, or you have to throw it out. So I said, wait a minute, let me get this straight. I just drank it in front of you, and I'm going through security. She says, I can go on the plane now. I said, now I can go on the plane after I drank the water in front of you? It doesn't make sense. So I could be explosive. She thinks it's explosive. That's what the whole point was. Anyway, I didn't say it right, but the whole point is that I'm bringing out, stories that actually happened to me, things that I notice all day long, the dumbest things.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I don't know. I'm a Jewish mother from New York, from Brooklyn originally. I still have that, and I'm not 60, but I'm not 20. But I watch the shows with my kids. I watch iCarly. I watch everything. Victorious. I watch it all. Why? Because I appreciate it.
You've got gumption. You've got vim. You've got vigor. You've got energy. You've got so much energy. You were able to squeeze a set into this conversation. It's unbelievable.
You like that,
I bet you don't even drink coffee. I bet you don't even drink coffee. I bet it's all natural.
I do, but I am, because I only eat fruits and vegetables. My husband, you could look him up. I swear to God.
I drink coffee. I'm drinking it right now.
No, my husband, I swear to God, this is true. If you look him up, he's known as the fruitarian. Fruitarian, not vegetarian. Fruitarian. He only eats fruits and vegetables. He runs 100-mile races, and he wins. Only on fruit and vegetables. I swear to God, this is true. So, I mean, my material alone on him could just, forget it, fill up his entire house.
I'm allergic to fruit and vegetables.
You're not allergic to fruit.
Vegetables.
Everybody says that. They blame the fruit after they have the steak. Oh, I can't have watermelon. You can have watermelon. You can't
I can only eat hamburgers. That's all I can eat. Hamburgers like Jay Leno.
Yeah.
We get hamburgers all the time. Hamburgers.
It's not the watermelon's fault. It's the burger that you had 10 times before that.
I blame the watermelons.
I know
blame
you.
The watermelons.
Everyone blames the poor watermelon.
They're very right wing.
Well, to take a something that your husband may say, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So
that's true. You're right. And I do ultra marathons too. I run them also. So I mean, I've got things that I'm always going to try. And this was on the bucket list. Somebody said, Joe, you're really funny. Why don't you try comedy? So I did it. I said, how do people get up?
You know what's on my bucket list?
What?
A bucket. A bucket.
Is it on the list?
I've never had a bucket in my life. I've never had a bucket.
I know, right? And then we still say that.
And I want a bucket.
No, because then if you kick it, no good.
That's true. Well, no, I want it to be rubber bucket.
Oh, then it bounces back?
What kind of ratings do you think this segment of our show?
I have no clue how many downloads you're going to get. But yeah,
Victoria, you are on fire.
Yeah,
Victoria, on fire you are today.
I just, you know what I mean. I just want to be somewhere. I don't know where it is. I just want to be
in Hawaii.
I don't know. We're going to Hawaii because my husband only eats. We eat fruit, right? We love fruit, and where else could you live in paradise? Just live there. Why not just live in paradise? Why visit paradise?
That's true.
So I figured I can go to LA from there.
Yeah, there's quite a few resorts down there. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get some digs down there. I'm pretty sure of it. They're always looking for some entertainment and all that as well. And I agree with Andy. You got a lot of gumption and a lot of energy. So you're well on your way. It's just it's just going to take a little time and a little bit of effort on your part to make that next step. But I'm glad
I'm exhausted.
That's the point. If you know anybody that wants to see a very cute Jewish girl from Brooklyn, do comedy, just tell them about me, Victoria Arnstein. Go look at my videos right now. I'm not plugging.
Are you on Twitter?
I'm on Facebook. Man, I have 3,000 friends. I don't know I don't know any of them, but they're all my
Twitter?
friends.
Are you on Twitter at all, Victoria?
I'm on Twitter, but I don't really follow Twitter that much. I'm really more on Facebook.
You need to get on Twitter.
Yeah, and just like one-liners.
Facebook. I was on Facebook the other day, and every time you try and leave Facebook, they say, "Do you really want to leave this page?" Yes,
I know.
Facebook.
Are you
That's
sure?
why I left the page.
I got a Facebook joke. You want to see it? You got to look at my stuff. You go on YouTube and go to Victoria Arnstein. Do it now.
If I had $1 for every time someone said, "Do you want to look at my stuff?" It's unbelievable. It happens to me all the time.
No, just me. Forget everybody else.
I was going to say that if we had $1 for every time Victoria said her name on the air, she'd be rich.
Victoria Arnstein.
Yeah.
Well,
let me, Victoria, we're running out of time here a little bit. So,
okay.
You have a website, but you're on Facebook, right?
I'm on Facebook, Victoria Tusi Arnstein. That's 3 names because my maiden name. In case an ex-boyfriend wants to look me up.
Okay, will do, Victoria. Thanks a lot for calling in. It's been a hoot.
Hey, listen, could I friend you also?
Yeah.
My problem is that my problem is that Facebook stopped me from friending anybody. Facebook wants me to have 7 or 8 different accounts. That's what they like.
Oh, because you already have too many fans. You're high line now.
Well, who knew? I mean, I just wanted people to be able to know where I'm going to be, and why does it have to be a big deal? But 5,000. Ooh, look at us. We're putting a limit.
They have a like page now for that, just in case they're
right. Then I got to tell people, if you can't go here, go over there.
Yeah.
I'm
on Twitter, Victoria.
I did one of the shows for Mary what's her name, from Staten Island? You know her from last Comic Standing. You know what I'm talking about, right? Mary Dimitri? I can't remember her last name now. Oh my God, why can't I remember her last name? She's such a sweetheart.
Mary, I think it's Mary the minimum.
You know what I'm talking about.
You sound like every Jewish lady. You sound like every Jewish person I've ever met, including me. You know the lady from Staten Island, Dad. Come on. Mary Domino, something like that. I don't know everything,
No, all right. Well, no, but you was on Last Comic Standing. I know you were a judge on that. Whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I missed that boat, by the way.
Don't worry about it.
All right,
I'll check it out. I'm going to check everything out, and I'm going to put all of my career on the back burner.
Yes, do that for me, because you know what? People are kicking themselves right now for not accepting, somebody like Barbara Streisand. They're like, oh, my God, I could have discovered her. She came to me. I said no.
If I could kick myself, I'd be over at Cirque du Soleil in about 10 minutes auditioning.
In the ankle, okay, not in the ass. Okay, so listen, Victoria Arnstein.
What's your name again?
Victoria Arnstein, and
wait,
my
one more
husband
time
is,
with your name. Just one more time with your name.
The Fruitarian. Go look it up.
Is it Victoria Arnstein?
I'm telling you, I'm going to save you. Your health is going to be better now. Then you're going to find someone hilarious.
Slightly Jewy.
Huh?
Sounds a little Jewy. You should change it to Curtis. Tony Curtis. Change your name to Tony Curtis, and I'm telling you, things will turn around for you.
No, I'm very Jewy. That's it. That's me. I'm like Fran Drescher.
No, hide that. Become Italian. That's where the money is.
I can do Italian from Brooklyn. I can do it.
That's what I do. Hey, what's going on? I'm an Italian guy now.
Yeah, I
go
Italian.
Angelo. Have you seen my work?
I can do it.
Sistine Chapel.
Okay.
Am I having a nervous breakdown?
Bye. Love you. Don't forget to look me up. Bye. Love you.
Yeah.
What is your name?
Victoria Arnstein.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, don't forget it.
It's Victoria from Long Island.
Oh, no, from Brooklyn, baby.
From Brooklyn, okay.
But I could be from Long Island if you need me to. See, I'm so eager. I could definitely follow direction. If they need me to be from Long Island, I could do it. See how nice that is?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all, Victoria.
Okay, have a great...
What was her name?
Sorry. Well, I don't know what her name is.
What was her name?
Victoria from
Ornstein, was it?
Yes,
wow, that was incredible.
Yeah.
That phone conversation was amazing.
Yeah, it was interesting. That was an interesting 15 minutes, roughly, that we were on with Victoria. But I said we're running out of time right now. I want to mention you can follow Andy on Twitter at Andy Kindler, and you guys can check him out over at the Brad Garrett Comedy Club over at the MGM Grand coming up this week. I look forward to talking to you again, Andy. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Hey, great talking to you. I really appreciate it.
No problem at all, Andy, and best of luck to you.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Andy Kindler, everybody. You guys can check him out there. Go to VegasPodcasting.com. You guys can check out what's coming up in the upcoming podcasts. I don't have anybody booked next week. I'll let you guys know. And follow us on Twitter at SWIV. That's at SWIV. I'll thank everybody for joining us. We'll be back next week, probably Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. So go to VegasPodcasting.com and check it out. We'll see you guys then.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Old moon, yeah. That's Hugo, tickling the ivories. He just saved by bundling home and auto with Progressive. Gonna finally buy a ring for that gal of yours, Hugo? Send her my condolences. Hi-oh! This next one's for you two. There's a burglar in my heart. Thank you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Get to Old Navy today and tomorrow for an incredible 50% off all jeans. That's right, all jeans, including Rockstar and your favorite kids styles, are 50% off. But hurry, it's 2 days only today and tomorrow at Old Navy and OldNavy.com. Valid 3/9 to 3/10. Excludes in-store clearance.